Hello guys, how you all doing? I'll drop another little video for you on a piece I picked up. I got this in around 3 weeks ago, and I saw this bus pop up on eBay, and I have been on the lookout for this particular version of Regan for a number of years now. You just do not ever see this bus turn up. So when I did see it turn up, I made a deal straight away. And yeah, got it in, and it was a bit scruffy in terms of the paint application. I'd seen a couple of images on Google, and yeah, it was just a little bit kind of slapdash, a little bit yeah, a bit messy. So I went ahead and I reworked the whole bust, in fact. So what I'll do, we'll get in a little closer. I'll show you some of the stuff I've done with it, and yeah, show you this awesome Regan piece. Now the bust itself is made by FFX, and like I say, you never see these busts come up. This particular version, it's a hard piece to find. I always wanted it. I see it on some like Google Images, and always been on the lookout for it because I just love that demonic tongue. But like I say, they just never really turn up. And yeah, it's made by FFX. I think it's numbered as well. I can't really remember what number it is. I was just sort of hell intent on kind of just getting to work with it straight away, and you know, doing a full repaint. Ended up doing a little bit more than I kind of like what I anticipated as well. But let's have a look at the base. So what I've actually done, if you would have seen on some of my other videos, I love the Exorcist film. It's just my favourite horror of all time. I've got a couple of I've painted up a previous Exorcist bust, which was really good fun to paint up. I sold that to a really cool fellow collector, and this is the second piece I've painted up. But I had these props with another Exorcist piece that I own, and I thought they looked really cool with this display. So what I did, I just kind of crudely chopped up a piece of wood to construct an actual kind of stand. I've left it kind of, I was going to kind of leave it with the wood as is, if you like, but I ended up painting it. I've left it quite sort of crudely rough. I didn't really sand it or anything like that. I've kind of left it rough and ready because I think it kind of suits what I was going for. And then like I say, these props I had from another display. Got this little Bible, got the rosary beads, the crucifix, and the Pazuzu. Is it Pazuzu? This thing scares the hell out of me, but looks really cool with this piece. I did do the bandages around the actual pole of the bust to kind of like, you know, it's reminiscent of the like end scenes in The Exorcist where she's restrained to the bed. I think that works really well. I've seen a few busts done like that, and it looks cool. So if we get onto the bust itself, it is a really awesome sculpt. Now the problem with it, like I say, it was very messy. If you look here, and it is actually more prominent on camera, you'll see this kind of green paint, and this was kind of just thrown on all over the tongue and a little bit down here and a bit around the mouth, and there was just no tone to it. There was no real kind of thought into, you know, the colours that was kind of put on. It was just a bit, yep, that's green, put it on, paint it white. You know, I just felt it needed a little bit more. So yeah, I did a full repaint. Did this kind of like really pale, ghoulish skin tone, and then the eyes, I was actually going to replace the eyes completely. They had this like really kind of horrible coating. It's almost like a lacquer, and they just had this kind of dirty kind of You know, I can describe it. If you've got the Sideshow endoskeleton bust where they did the kind of the damaged version, that you know, that kind of black stuff. It's like a tacky, lacquery stuff that just bonds, but you can get it off. I ended up cleaning the eyes up. I took them out, cleaned them up, and I scraped all that crap off. And I actually quite like the look of the eyes. So I ended up putting them back in, resetting them. And then I put some 5-minute epoxy on them just to really bring them to life. And I think they look really well. They certainly do look demonic. Yeah, like I say, did all these skin tones, redid the cuts, added a little bit more of the epoxy in certain areas of the cuts, just to kind of show, you know, where they're a little bit deeper, make them look a little bit wet. What I did do with the tongue, like I say, it was some of this kind of green here was just thrown on it, and it had some like blood on it. I went with a black tongue at first. I wanted it to look sort of totally demonic. I then worked in some of these sort of like pinks and purples, and then I used some of the like puke on certain areas of the tongue, and I think that came out really well. Also as well, when I got the bust, it was like, if you look under there, you could hardly see the teeth. It was just kind of painted over, really. So I ended up repainting and highlighting the teeth, and it just kind of really sort of changed the look of the bust. I added a lot more of the puke down the nightdress, so it's kind of like more similar to the later scenes of The Exorcist, where she's like, her nightdress is like really covered. And then, yeah, what I did experiment with was I wanted her to look kind of sweaty. So I worked in some high gloss varnish in with a sponge in certain areas around the face sculpt. But it didn't really do it any favours. Usually it does, but on this particular piece, it just didn't really work. So I knocked it back with some matte finish. And it did sort of take some of it away, but it still wasn't kind of the look I wanted to achieve. So I was quite fortunate that I've got some dull coat. So I ended up dull coating the whole thing other than the tongue and eyes. And then with the epoxy, I just worked in a few areas at the top where it looks like there's just some sort of beads of sweat here and there. You know, when the light kind of catches it. Also put a few bits in the hair here and there as well. Yeah, and just when the light sort of catches it, you can just see it glisten. Gives an overall better look. On this particular piece, you can see from the side profile how long that tongue is. It's just, yeah, it's pretty disturbing. After I'd done all the paint work, I then did some work on the hair. Ollie's here. You alright, Ollie? Ollie? Okay. Yeah, did some work on the hair. I just wanted to kind of get it looking a little bit greasy, add a little bit of texture to it, make it look slightly unkept, as it was a little bit fluffy. And that was about it, really. Like I say, I was on this for about 2 weeks in total. And I'm happy with how it turned out. It's looking pretty cool. Yeah, like I say, it's an excellent sculpt. Really, really cool sculpt. But yeah, just thought I'd give you a little look at that one. This is the FFX Regan bust. Very, very hard piece to find. And I fully repainted it. And kind of put my own little twist on it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. More videos coming soon, so stay tuned. Take it easy, stay safe, and I will catch you later.